Greetings from the stars above. It's Neon Star coming back after a bit of hiatus from my debut with my first true video. This should be fun. If you like what you see, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. My job can keep me rather busy at times, but I do have some videos I plan to release in the next few months, including some movie reviews, especially with the holiday season coming around, and video game concepts / rankings. So hopefully you'll stay tuned. Speaking of movies, the trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie released a few days ago, and I am excited, but I have a few notes. Some concerns and things I just wish were different. But let's start with the positives, as there are many, but in this world, they're not usually as interesting to talk about. First off, the animation and visual design of the film looks gorgeous, just as it did in the first film. You've got a few updated designs of Peach, the Toad voiced by Mr. Magic Man G, Michael Key, and of course the designs of the new characters to this film, which we'll get to later. The opening gag of Bowser still in his mini form after the first movie, living in a tiny mini toy castle and making therapeutic art, is a bit humorous. The difference between how Bowser and Luigi speak to each other versus him and Mario I found funny, as Luigi is supportive of Bowser's passionate display, while Mario plays the role of every artist's inner critic and immediately calls the painting garbage. Well, they do say art is subjective after all.
It's trash.
How dare you look at my masterpiece and say that! I'll burn the skin off your bones! Wow. Sorry about that.
Anyways, next the trailer shows off what appears to be the beginning of the Star Festival, and then Peach and Toad jumping into a launch star and being flung into space, passing a few familiar planets from the Mario Galaxy games, aka Drip Drop Galaxy and a planet from Gusty Garden Galaxy. Then you've got Peach kicking butt and defeating a swarm of ninjas, as one does, while standing on a roulette wheel, and then the two big reveals of the trailer. First off, Bowser Jr. is here! That's my boy, my precious boy! Bowser Jr. is one of my favorite characters in the Super Mario franchise, alongside Yoshi, Luigi, Mario, and Rosalina, who we'll see later. He's been my main in Super Smash Bros. Since Smash 4. I got a plush of him from a Nintendo store, and I managed to find his amiibo at a random Target when you got scalpers that would gladly have me give an arm and a leg just to have him. But anyways, he's here! He's got the magical paintbrush from Super Mario Sunshine, well, technically Bowser Fury because the icon on the brush is different, and he even uses the paint to transform himself into his design from Super Mario Wonder when he has the Wonder Flower. This is definitely a much more aggressive look compared to the quiet menace he had when he disguised himself as Shadow Mario. Don't think we didn't hear that Prowler sound effect illumination. He seems to be the main antagonistic force as he attacks Peach's castle and Rosalina, as we see later, to rescue his father and restore the Koopa Kingdom. Design-wise, I like his design, with the integration of more modern Mario references, but two things massively stand out to me that sort of bother me a bit. First off, his eyes. Why do they look like that? I understand they wanted to have more detailed eyes compared to the basic ones in the games, but did they really have to give him miniature Smog eyes? They're more reptilian, lizard-like, which I guess being a Koopa, which is a turtle, that makes sense. But they just look jarring to look at, and the colors bleed and blend weirdly with his general color palette, so it ironically could make it more difficult to emotionally read him. Then there's his voice. Giving Bowser Jr. a preteen to teenager voice is a choice compared to what he usually sounds like.
I'm Bowser Jr., and I'm gonna be taking my father now!
They could have at least gotten Benny Safdie to act in a higher pitch, or just pitch it up in post. But I am less bothered by the voice as I've gotten used to it the more times I've watched the trailer. I mean, the first movie came out with Chris Pratt, Star-Lord / Emmett Burkowski voicing Mario, and Kung Fu Panda Jack Black voicing Bowser, and they both did well, so I'll give the voice direction a little bit of slack. The next big reveal is Rosalina, more so the fact that she's in the first trailer to begin with. Now, this is the Super Mario Galaxy movie, so obviously Rosalina is going to be in the film, but she took more of a passive overseer role in the games. Here, she is kicking even more butt with her cosmic star powers and effortlessly taking down Mega Leg, which a separate release scene heavily implies was piloted by Bowser Jr. In that case, how is he going to survive the massive explosion? He'll be fine. Something probably dealing with star power or something like that. In this movie, Rosalina is voiced by Brie Larson, who, despite the Captain Marvel controversy most people know her for, is actually a pretty good fit for the role. She captures her calm, endearing demeanor while still having a bit of spunk, hinting towards her massive cosmic power as the mother of the stars. I do find it weird that the Megaleg is attacking her at all, as she is not in the Comet Observatory in this scene, as you can see the Comet Observatory in the background of the shot. Instead, she is at a separate castle that hasn't really been seen in any of the Mario games before. That kind of brings me to my last big thought on the movie, the overall narrative of the film. The first movie was full of references that kept fans entertained upon first seeing the film, but the film itself had very little story and very little substance. Not only that, but the Super Mario Galaxy games arguably have the biggest scope of any Mario game that has ever come out up to this point. To go from a movie with barely a story to basing its sequel off of one of the most epic and ambitious Mario adventures is quite a jump. Frankly, the movie doesn't seem to be trying to follow the plot of Mario Galaxy, as Peach and Toad are the ones to initially venture off into space while Mario and Luigi are driving around Toast Arena looking like some characters from Mad Max. Though I am excited for this movie, this is quite a jump in scope. I would have expected an adaptation of Super Mario Galaxy to be the third movie of this franchise, not the second. What's the third one going to be now? The Super Mario Galaxy 2 movie? I'd probably have the second movie be like the Super Mario World movie, which would have mainly centered around Yoshi as he was teased in the post-credits of the first film, even though he isn't even in the trailer for the Galaxy film. The film could have had references to the Yoshi Island games while adding more lore to the films about Princess Peach's origin and Bowser's. Maybe even have Bowser use Kamek to make evil clones of Mario and Luigi, which would have served as the origins of Wario and Waluigi in the films. The end credits scene for this film could have been the reveal of Bowser Jr. after Bowser made a wish or something, having him show up at the end leading into the Galaxy film. The third film could reveal the full origin of Peach, while also discussing Bowser Jr.'s origins. Either way, it's not exactly good to be already discussing alternate stories and hypothetical films when the movie hasn't even come out yet. I am definitely still excited for this film, even if the story doesn't end up being the sprawling epic that people want it to be. I mean, it has my boy Bowser Jr. in it, so I have to give it props already. Here's to being cautiously optimistic. Maybe all this Galaxy talk with the movie and the Galaxy games being re-released on the Switch could mean that Nintendo is developing the coveted and sacred and very elusive and possibly non-existent Super Mario Galaxy 3. But that is most definitely a pipe dream. But who knows? Well, that's all from me for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. God bless. Neon Star out.